Writer Sam, and this is one of my movie reviews. Now, as part of Chad Stewart Tribute Week, I have to keep in mind of the things he was in. He was in The Dick Van Dyke Show, Batman, Laredo, and The Patty Duke Show. And since today is actually Patty Duke's birthday, I focused on something she was in to watch today. And I watched The Miracle Worker for the first time. It's the one Patty Duke movie that I have read so much about. It basically was her debut. Like, she won an Oscar for her performance in that movie. Like, she played a young Helen Keller. Helen Keller was a real historical figure. She was known for being both deaf and blind. And honestly, I think that's a good reason to be famous. Basically living a good long life without being able to hear or see, because honestly, I would have given up on life if I were blind and deaf. But the story is that it takes place during Helen's childhood, and Patty is portraying her, and it's about her relationship with this girl, Annie Sullivan, and she is called upon to teach Helen Keller to communicate. And she does this by teaching her how to form letters with her hands, like, for example, C, or how do they do it? D-O-L-L. That spells doll. Very, very clever. I enjoyed watching Patty Duke try to learn all that. And that's basically the whole movie, trying to get Helen Keller to learn how to spell words with her hands, but also understand what they mean. Like, because she needs to know what a word is, so she knows how to spell it and understand it. Simple as that. And just for that little story, this movie actually astounded me by how endearing and how frightening it is at the same time. The frightening part is the fact that Patty was playing a deaf and blind character. I mean, she did have a disability herself, but that did not cost her her sight or her hearing. But I will say this. The way she did that, the way she portrayed Helen Keller was phenomenal. I mean, her facial expressions, oh my god, like, I was like, oh my god, why, I wouldn't want to be in that state. yeah, I think that anyone watching this would think that. But I really liked how that Annie Sullivan was actually able to see herself in Helen Keller, because she's kind of blind as well. The sun hurts her eyes, and she had a brother that she couldn't take care of, so she wants to care for Helen Keller the way she couldn't care for her brother. And that's actually very sad character trait, isn't it? And actually, I didn't know whether to root for Helen Keller's parents or for Annie, because Annie was saying stuff like, let me have her. She needs to learn discipline. But her parents were like, she also needs to be herself. She needs affection. And so I really sympathized with Helen Keller in this. I did sympathize with her, but I also did feel like she needed to learn a few things, because there's a scene where Annie is trying to teach her to eat with a utensil because she has no idea how. She can't see. She's got terrible manners. She walks around the table picking up food and eating it, like not even caring whose plate she's touching. Yeah. So Annie tries to teach her to do the opposite of that. She teaches her to sit in a chair, use a utensil, fold her napkin, and she is able to learn how to do that, but not without a fight. At some point she spits eggs in her face. Yeah. I'm like, forget discipline, teach her manners. But still, the relationship between Annie and Helen gets better by the end of the movie. But still, as the movie goes on, Annie becomes more and more desperate and maybe a little psychotic. But still, it really gives an understandable atmosphere to it, because it's realistic to view. But either way, I will not dare give away the ending of this film. It is so sweet. Helen finally learns to understand words, and the way she expresses things is great. I could watch the last moment between her and Annie over and over and over. It's wonderful. And Patty's performance is top notch, like I said, top notch. I have so much respect for Patty Duke as a performer and as a mental health advocate. She is among my favorite celebrities with disabilities. I love her. And actually, the cast of The Miracle Worker includes someone who was on the Patty Duke show, Judith Lowry. Still, the fact that this movie led to Patty having her own show was incredible. And actually, I read somewhere that The Miracle Worker was a stage production that Patty did play Helen Keller in before it was a movie. So that's cool. And there are pictures of Patty with the real Helen Keller on the internet. Just look up Patty Duke and Helen Keller and you'll find them. Yeah. So this movie, it's a very balanced blend between frighteningly realistic and beautifully endearing. That's my best description of this film. It's wonderful that way. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And happy birthday up there, Patty. Mwah. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!